Hello, hello, and welcome everybody. How you doing?
We're all
Usually
silent
Heather
now.
answers right away.
We're hanging in there. I'm trying really hard to not go into a coughing fit. Trying really hard.
All right, sounds good. Hello, Beth. Welcome, and thank you for joining us this evening.
You're
Great to
very
have
welcome.
you.
Good to see you again. It's been a long time.
For sure. Yes, it has. It's
Excellent.
been a very long time, but that's okay. We always meet when it's time, so that's how I feel. So, all right, we have a few people in the chat already. We have Miss Beth, Reseller Rowboat. If you haven't checked out her channel, please do so. Pretty awesome lady right here. Then we have Serenity Journey. I hope I said that right. If I didn't, I apologize, but hello, and welcome. And hey, Pearlini, how you doing?
Hey, Lynn.
And Barbara's in the house. Hello, Barbara. How you doing?
Hello,
So
Barbara.
we're actually gonna start the show off because Dwayne's in the panel too. Hello, Dwayne. I almost forgot because you're so quiet. So we're gonna start off. I'm gonna make Heather and Dwayne big, and they're gonna open up a gift package that Tommy and I sent them. You guys ready?
Hang on one sec. I'm
Okay.
finishing up my project here.
Okay.
Well, getting to a stopping point. It never is finished. Are projects ever finished?
Oh, Serenity Journey is James, aka Scavenger, and I can't remember the last part of that, but I do. I know who you are. Cheryl's here. Hello, and welcome.
Hey, Cheryl.
Hello, Derek. How are you doing? That is another
Derek?
person I haven't seen in a long time.
No.
Hope you are doing well, sir. Let me get in here and do that before I forget. You have a blue Smurf now, Serenity Journey, aka James. So, all right, let's us make them big. And well, let's do it this way. Let's see if we. Oh, there we go.
All right.
You want me to open it since I'm.
You gotta be
Or
careful.
you. And just don't cut yourself.
Yes, please don't cut yourself.
Here. There. Make Dwayne more.
Even bigger than I am. You're probably fat already once today.
I am sitting further back than he is.
Uh-huh. You gotta open that part.
I believe that is Dwayne's gift.
Yeah, that's why I said she had to open that one first.
Okay.
I still have what I want to see you sitting right here in front of me.
Uh-huh.
That's the kind of friend I am. But my near-death experience, does that work for an excuse for the moment?
I don't know.
Look at that. The Masked Singer YouTube style co-host. Sweet.
Yep. And I
Awesome.
expect you to use it, sir.
And
yeah.
even with bugs in there.
What?
Look,
Thomas.
he's dead.
No. That's weird because we washed that before we sent it.
Maybe it was in this other gift and found its way there.
That's washed too. And
All right.
That was a gift from Tommy.
We used to, when I worked for the craft spring, we'd get crap from China. Sometimes there'd be live things.
Live Chinese bugs.
oh, there's
Yeah, and it's
there's something
grocery-
else in the blanket.
Okay, and at the grocery store, it'd have live, huge spiders in with the bananas.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yep. This one is from Jaslyn.
This one?
The mug is the coffee mug is from
You're
Jaslyn.
gonna have to put it absolutely adorable. Thank you so much. And man, see.
What
Yeah.
you always say that
That's
you're
right.
cold.
Yeah.
She's always cold.
Look at that. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I love it. Man,
I was gonna say if y'all didn't know, she kind of liked Hello Kitty. So I mean, there's all kinds of Hello Kitty stuff around here. See right there,
it's just a necklace.
the necklaces. There's so much stuff for Hello Kitty. So
Yes.
that is her
Yes.
favorite. She even
Well,
has
that
some.
can keep you warm.
She has some Hello Kitty soy sauce.
They make Hello
Just a
Kitty soy
bottle.
sauce.
It was weird. Yeah, it's a little pink bottle that was soy sauce.
Oh, and there were lots of Band-Aids.
So thank you so much. It'll come in very handy. She's always cold. So.
I was thinking that perhaps I'd hang it as a tapestry, but it'd have to be on the ceiling.
No, you got to use that one.
Yes.
Blanket.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. I'm glad you like it.
See, and Dwayne.
Oh yeah, I'm sitting on a Hello Kitty Snuggie.
Yeah.
So now you can put the Snuggie over your shoulders and the blanket on your lap.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I keep all my Hello Kitty in here because Dwayne doesn't find it to be overly climactic to have it in the bedroom. So.
Oh, Derek says she has to get the Hello Kitty Hot Wheel now.
Oh, I didn't even know there was one.
Yeah. There's Hello Kitty everything.
He also says, like to hear Heather.
Oh, it's been a while since I've seen you.
Yeah. The pause is kicking in and my hair changed texture, so I cut it off. Because I was freaking out. And
Yeah, my hair is starting to do some frizzy stuff the last few years.
it just went weird. Beth, you're through all that, right?
Yeah, I'm getting the gray taken out next weekend.
And but did the pause throw everything off with you?
I started getting gray before then, so
And
I've been coloring my hair way before then.
oh well, I've been coloring my hair since junior high. I don't know what color it is.
I'm completely
We
gray now.
still don't know.
Yeah, I'm completely gray now.
Oh no, that is one thing I got from my mother. Heck, even my oldest sister, who's gonna be big 6-0 in a couple of months, she still is fairly gray. So we got that going. And
Mine keeps sneaking in here.
yeah, he's got some platinum in his beard. Some platinum in with ginger.
Well, I'm gonna let you ladies hang out and do your thing because it's hot in this room because she's always cold.
Derek said he's going to get rid of his hair.
And
So thanks again, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Dwayne.
I will probably check in with you guys in a few minutes on my phone.
I can't hear you.
I'll check in with you on my phone.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Tommy's upstairs, so
here I got a mutant cough. That's like my thing.
it's okay. It's okay. We know. It's all good.
So my lungs were doing better. Oh yeah, who was it? A friend of mine? Yeah,
That's
cool.
One of my friends that I talk about all the time. She sent me a picture of that from like Savers, Goodwill, and send it to me. And I took a picture of mine, sent it back, and she's like, oh, "Of course, yeah." Cheryl is always giving me Hello Kitty stuff. I have a super cute little lunch pail over there from her.
That's awesome.
I know it's. Oh my gosh! So my first in my pile, I have my Hello Kitty I've had since 1980. That's when I started collecting. Although Hello Kitty and I are the same age, born in 72.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but she really didn't take off for America till like 80, and then she went away for 20 years, and then people like me, it's like, well, my daughters have to have Hello Kitty, and so then she picked up again. So, here, Dwayne said he's going to get me water. Hang on.
Okay. Cheryl says, mine is still my natural color. I have a few gray hairs, not enough to notice. Must be nice.
I was
I got
just going to
lots.
say, very envious.
What?
Yeah, I have gray. I do. And then I have my white little funky thing.
You guys will have to see my youngest son. I think that you saw him last week, and he had shaved his head. And because I told you we have psoriasis in our family. I don't have it, but I passed it on. And his hair was going thin from picking at his scalp all the time. And he's got super thick hair like Dwayne. And so that kind of put him in a panic. So he shaved his head. And he's just got a little bit of stubble. And I was examining him. I'm like, no, you still have way too much hair. And he's like, oh, good. He felt better.
Well, see, Tommy's got psoriasis and alopecia. And
I know that word. What is it?
it's where you don't have hair or you lose your hair.
Okay.
It
So
can be brought on by stress. It can be brought on by weather change. But he has it, and it's in his hair. And you'll a lot of times you'll see him with big bald patches because of the alopecia. But he also has the psoriasis, which doesn't help. And so and then he's got arthritis from the psoriasis.
Yeah.
He's got severe
That's what I have.
degenerative psoriatic arthritis. So it kind of like all plays this big part in together. And Jaslyn has it.
Yeah, all those autoimmune issues like to join in together, join forces and have a party.
Well, see, and now Jaslyn has psoriasis and she has alopecia, but her alopecia was triggered by burns. And so she only has it in certain spots on her head, and it's real small. It's not noticeable. And then her psoriasis, we were told that one good thing for her would be to part her hair like this and shave underneath because she's got such thick hair.
Yeah,
it'll help breathe. Yep. So Tommy keeps his hair really short during the summer because the sun is really good for psoriasis.
Well, unfortunately for Jeremy, he gets a sunburn walking to the mailbox. So yeah, he has ultra-sensitive skin to the sun and chemicals, and then the psoriasis. So he got the ultra-sensitive skin from Dwayne, psoriasis from me. He's like, thanks. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, and it's weird because like I don't have anybody in my family that I know of that has psoriasis, but Jaslyn has it. So
it's because you didn't know it, but she's Tommy's kid, you know.
I know, right? And I'm starting to really wonder because there's too much coincidence going on with them too. Same allergies. They're both allergic to coconut. I'm like,
so bizarre.
I think maybe they're like feeding off each other or something, or however that works. But they always say that you grow up looking like the person that raised you. Well, I have proof upstairs.
Jeremy's the one that looks the least like us, and he's the only one I know for sure that didn't get traded in the nursery. So, because I had him, we were fine. I went home, but
wow.
So I did think of a topic. Did I research it? No, it's not so much a topic; it's a thought. So. Like my brother has ADHD. He's a drummer. Never met a drummer that didn't have ADHD. I think that Dwayne's family has some ADHD. Of course, they won't admit to it because, why admit it, right? And then we have, see, this is what I'm getting at right now. Focus. This is my subject. So bipolar, my daughter has bipolar. She's been asked if she's ADHD recently. And she's like, I don't know. And so I got thinking, because I either hyper focus or have no focus. And I, go back and forth. So I was thinking about ADHD traits that show up in bipolar. That was the long way around the block to say that right there. Very ADHD of me.
And that's the thing.
I was going to research it, didn't. I forgot.
But this is what we do. We stumble. We try. I am known very well for going a long way around to try to explain something, and then after I explain it, I'm being told, wouldn't it have been easier just to say this, and I'm like, probably, but I wasn't thinking that. My brain was going like this.
And it's, oh, hey, right there. I just put bipolar and ADHD. So we're going to look at this. Everything's an ad. Anyway, I'm sure that, I'm convinced that I caught ADHD from my brother. Nobody could live with him and not be. It was survival, man.
Barbara, on your screen, there should be 3 dots. Click on those and then click quality. And then when you click quality, go all the way down. I'm not sure if you're on your phone or on a tablet or a computer, but when you click on that for your phone, it will give you a couple different options. Go all the way to the one at the bottom, and then you can click the 720p on your computer. If you're on a computer or tablet, just click the settings button, the little gear at the bottom of the screen, and click on quality, and then hit 720 there as well. So mine was too. Mine was really cloudy, and I'm not sure why, but that should help. Hey, Dad's Vintage Garage. How are you doing? What are you trying to? I don't know half the time. I have so many squirrel moments. It's not even funny. Derek says my problem is more hyperactivity than to get PTSD really screwed me up. Yep, for sure. James said I'm ADHD. That's why I have so many YouTube channels. Okay, so for me, I have Mr. Pickle's channel, which I do have to get working on. I have this channel, then we have Tommy's channel, and we have Jaslyn's channel. So those are, and then we have another channel, and Adventures on the Cheap. That's where we go and do all our adventures, and we record it and put it up on that channel. And then we have another channel in the works, but I'm not allowed to. You have to wait for the premiere for that.
What does Jasmine do on her channel?
Well, her channel is Jaslyn. Yeah, Jaslyn is Jaslyn Off the Wall, and she does like costume makeup, like what's the word I'm looking for? The term. Well, it's like costume makeup, body art type stuff. And then she does cooking with Dwayne. She'll go live with Dwayne, and they'll cook in the Instapot, which they'll be doing again soon. They just have to sit down and figure out a time when they can do that. Hello, Sandy. Welcome, welcome. Hello, JRKR. Hello. I don't know if I missed you. I apologize, but know that I'm saying hello now. So do you have ADHD, Beth, at all?
No.
No?
No.
How unfortunate for you. Do you just like sit down and focus on something?
Pretty much. I do that to keep my head from going in other places.
How weird is
with
that?
The OCD. I have a niece who has it. She is currently being homeschooled, and I think it's the best thing for her because she can really focus one-on-one.
Oh yeah, I think that was part of my.
I tutored her for about a year and a half, and brought her grades up to A's from practically F's. And I think when my brother saw how much she focused, they decided that was the way to go for now, is to just homeschool her, and she's driving her mother crazy, but she just learns so much better when she's got someone, just sitting there on her constantly.
My youngest,
oh gosh, she would be in so much trouble all the time from talk, and wanting to get up and down, and change the subject. And like when I tutor her, when I first started tutoring, her mother kept giving her a snack, and I said, you cannot give her a snack when I'm tutoring her. She has to eat it before or after, because she can't do both at one time, because she's looking at the wrapper and she's telling you all about the ingredients, and then she's taking it apart and folding it up and making things with it, and she cannot eat and work at the same time.
Yeah.
So
see, with Jeremy, I would tell people, don't ask him to look at you, because he's on the spectrum, for one, and I'm like, he hears everything you're saying. In fact, I would have to warn friends' parents that Jeremy hears everything when he goes to your house, just letting you know. He was even at a school for kids with autism, and I had asked the teachers and the paras, I'm like, please don't gossip when Jeremy's in your classroom, because I hear about it, and he doesn't need to hear about it to begin with. But no, we medicated him, because it was impossible to educate or discipline him. He was a feral animal, unmedicated. My oldest son, we didn't medicate. He did well enough, but now that he was trying to go to school, and then, everything went to crap. But he was like, Mom, why didn't you tell me I have ADHD? I'm like, seriously, we had you tested. Don't you remember? He had no memories of it. But then, so he might do ADHD medication just to help him get through college, but it actually helps him with his line of work that he's in, because he has to have many plates spinning at the same time to do his job. So if you can learn how to harness it, ADHD isn't a bad thing at all. You just have to learn how to manage it. But for some people, managing it is medication, and that's not a bad thing either if it works for you.
Yeah, one of my last teaching positions, I had 32 kids, and 8 of them were on Ritalin. And
oh man,
it was
hard.
a wild year. It was a wild year.
Yeah, Jeremy went underweight when he was on Ritalin and kept licking his lips.
Yes.
That didn't work.
They lose their appetite.
Yeah, he burned through all of the medications by the time he was in junior high. He'd trade them all. Mm-hmm. There's probably more now, but at the time.
Yeah,
and I shouldn't say that 8 of them were on Ritalin, but 8 of them had ADHD. But it was a wild year.
Should have been medicated.
Well,
and some of the teachers, they do the opposite of what you would think you would do with an ADHD child, in that they face their desk towards a wall so that they can't see what's going on, and it needs to be the other way around.
Yeah.
And
they need more
things
recess
like that.
Time, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Like Jeremy, it was so stupid. Again, at the school for autistic kids, getting held in during recess to do math because he hates math. And I just walked up to the teacher. By the time you have your third kid, you don't give a shit. And so I just marched up to her and I'm like, Jeremy, we'll never miss a recess again. And she's like, okay. I said, thanks. Turned around, walked away. I wasn't even polite. I didn't care. But I was like, seriously, you keep an ADHD kid in? It's like, no, if he doesn't want to do work, he should have double recess. Then maybe you can get something out of him work-wise.
Yeah, Joey's been on a lot of the ADHD medicine, and we finally had to take him off of it because it wasn't doing any good. His body would get immune to it so quickly, and they would keep upping it, and we had enough. So we give him peanut butter.
And
he eats peanut butter every day, and it helps to kind of keep him somewhat focused, but it's not like the magic cure, but it's a little bit more manageable. But he has ADHD with Tourette's.
And it's a little bit easier when they're older, when you can talk to them and make them understand what's happening in their bodies and in their heads. When they're really, really young, it's difficult. to make them understand that it's
Well,
not their fault, that it's,
so many parents do. I don't know about now, but like my mom learned about ADHD. My brother's in his early 50s, and my mother learned about it back in the 70s. And so, we always knew that about my brother. So I knew that I would have at least one kid with ADHD. And, not surprised at all that it was my boys. But, what Cheryl was saying about warm Jell-O, my grandma used to eat warm Jell-O. And I have a story of...
I can't have like cold sodas. I drink warm soda.
Room temperature. I don't drink soda, but room temperature flavored water.
Like if it's because we keep our soda on the porch, and so like if it's cool outside, it'll get cold. But I prefer warm soda. I prefer warm water.
Warm
like
or just room temperature.
Room temperature, water, soda, anything like that. It's weird. It's a weird texture.
Dwayne says that I like piss warm water. That's what he calls it. But so when I was first sick with the Rona, my stomach was not doing well, and I wanted Jell-O, and all we had, because we have the beer fridge out in the garage, all we had was Jell-O shots. So there I was, eating a Jell-O shot.
Hey, extra benefit there.
Right? You're really feeling good then.
No, as Dwayne and I were laying there, I'm like, death has got to be easier than this. It's like, I don't know. I'm hoping I'll forget about it. But yeah.
Did you see J.R. Kara's comment? She says, I am OCD about cleaning, not. And then James says, having two people with ADHD and a disabled daughter makes life interesting. I bet. And then there's the Jell-O comment. I also have ADHD and P.T.S.D. The hubby thinks I should ask if anyone else here likes to drink warm Jell-O like I do. I think he has ADHD too. Now, I know another thing about ADHD, and because of me and my son having it, color changing lights are something that ADHD people really like.
And
color is a really good therapy. Color therapy.
Yeah. And I got to get more of these wonderful color changing candles because it's safer than lighting a real candle. But these are like my serenity to me, for me. And I have the strips, the color changing strips. I have a light bulb that does the color changing thing. But color changing lights are a big thing with ADHD people as well. That I do know.
Better with music on.
Yep, music.
And
I have a color changing diffuser that's really awesome.
Way cool. And
I think I want to get one of those. I like everything color changing. I mean, even my tea candles. I found tea candles that were color changing. I don't know if you guys can tell that they're color changing, but
there we go. Yeah.
So, I mean, you look at the jar and it'll change different colors.
So I'm looking at the article here. Dealing with ADHD is a challenge. Bipolar, even harder. And when the two of them occur together, it can be downright dangerous. Here's how to sort out symptoms and get adequate treatment now. So, yeah, so it is a thing.
Yeah. So James said ADHD integrated, I think is the word, is a superpower. Otherwise, it creates an internal war zone that makes life difficult.
Yeah. Yep.
And Derek says a lot of chefs have ADHD because a restaurant kitchen is controlled chaos.
Sure. There's a lot of jobs that people with ADHD do just fine with. But I had heard the idea that perhaps ADHD is just simply a evolution thing that because you figure back in the day when you always had to be alert, life or death, and that it's something that just is still around in people's genes. I don't know. I thought that was an interesting idea. I want to know where the hell bipolar came from. Well, and then with the dyslexia, because bipolar and dyslexia can come hand in hand as well. And we have that. My daughter doesn't. So she just got the anxiety and the bipolar. But think, back before the written word, there was no such thing as dyslexia. Right. And so, I think that a lot of our things between bipolar, ADHD, dyslexia, anxiety, there's so many overlapping things.
Right.
And then, of course, I always throw in there taking on other people's emotions, too, if I'm not careful. So
I'm just sharing out the live real quick. I forgot to do that at the beginning. I was trying to eat dinner. I'm not gonna lie. I made hot dogs.
You're gonna have to have a second dinner since you didn't eat much of your first one.
What's that?
You're gonna have to have a second dinner since you didn't eat much of your first one.
Yep, well, I do that. Eat half.
Or was that just a side dish?
I don't know.
I'm sorry. I just got a message. Give me 1 second. Can you guys handle this for a minute?
Yeah. We'll
catch up.
We'll tell all kinds of crazy stories.
So when did you? What was the date when you got sick?
Dwayne was the first one diagnosed April 1st.
Okay.
And like I said, I was looking into what shot I wanted to get, and then boom, we had it, and it was absolutely horrible. One of the most sick I've ever been. And I'm hoping that I do not have lasting effects for the rest of my life, because we don't know yet, not enough time has passed.
So did you have it worse than he did?
No, it's just I've never smoked. And I'm the one with the lung issues. I do have asthma. Northern Utah has horrible air quality. Cheryl, Pokemon Mama, her husband works for the state health department in the crap air. And it's horrifying. I need to leave the Wasatch Front. But, and I was doing a little bit better, and then spring hit. And I don't have my oxygen tank in here right now, but I get coughing so much, and everybody's like, get your oxygen. So I'll do that.
How often do you have to go for checkups?
I don't know.
Oh, so you haven't gone.
Well, so I went to the emergency room, and then they were useless. So then I went to the doctor, and then I already had my scheduled physical for 2 weeks out. So I talked to him then, and that was a couple of weeks ago. So I don't know. There's no real actual program in place, or you know what I mean? It's kind of like, well, let us know how you're doing. But I'm sure I can call the doctor's office when my oxygen tanks run out, and he'll, order more. Hopefully I'll be better. I wasn't able to go see my mom on Mother's Day yesterday. I figured if I showed up coughing, they'd turn me around and march me right back out. And if I showed up with my oxygen tank, they'd look for a bed for me. So I decided that I'd better we FaceTimed, there. Yeah. See, Department of Crap Air. And, but yeah, my brother, he went to see her and we FaceTime. She didn't know who I was. She didn't know who my sisters were. So I don't, it's so hard to know. It's like, am I doing this for me? Am I doing this for her? Am I doing this out of obligation? When someone has dementia,
Well, later on down the road, you'll kick yourself if you didn't.
And I don't know. I had a much better relationship with my mother than my father. I hadn't talked to my father for 9 months before he died, and I've yet to feel bad about it.
Mm-hmm. My son-in-law, when he got it, he has a lot of autoimmune diseases, and they had him come in and do a 3-hour cocktail right after he was diagnosed, because they just suspected he was going to be really bad if they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And then my daughter got it, and they had 2 kids under the age of 2 in the home in a teeny tiny apartment, and I don't know how they did it, but
yeah. My future son-in-law, he was the least sick. My youngest son wasn't too bad, but my daughter and Dwayne and I were. Although Jeremy, my son, he's still coughing. My oldest son, who lives about an hour away, he got it last fall, he and his wife. And he still doesn't have his sense of smell. It's not right. My daughter still isn't right.
I can't imagine what that would be like.
Yeah, he said that anything that is like an offensive smell, it all smells the same to him.
So you can fart or take out trash or anything, it all smells the same.
Yeah. He said that I think it was propane, some of that, something like that. And Cheryl will know the Jordan River, stinky river that runs through Salt Lake, and dog poo.
All smell the same.
Yeah.
Well,
I know, it is really, really wild.
I'm sorry. I just got a message from a really good friend of mine, the kid's stepmom. She's in the hospital. If you guys could please pray for her. She is pregnant and bleeding.
How far along?
Almost. Well, Friday she goes in. She was supposed to go in to see the sex of the baby. So however long that is. Yeah.
That's not good.
So if you guys could please keep her in your prayers, that would be greatly appreciated.
Absolutely.
So that's why I had to take it. So I do apologize, but
no problem. We were just continuing our knitting, bitch.
Just catching up. I haven't seen you guys in so long.
Yes, yeah.
I moved in January. We bought a house 10 houses down from where we were renting.
Well, good for you. That's
spent
great.
all of December renovating, and then I still don't have any pictures up. Because we had the whole place painted, and I just can't stand to think of putting pictures up. But we're getting ready to do that. We just kind of want to wait a while and see where we want everything to go, I guess.
No, I have a hard time with becoming attached to anything, and so I actually putting pictures up on the walls is like amazing for me. Our first house, I don't know if I don't think I've ever really moved in. I always have like my mental go bag planned out, and I have a thing with hoarding boxes. And
I'm not good spatially, so I don't like to be the one that has to space them, but I'm the only one physically capable of hanging them up, so it's going to fall on me. So I'm going to lay them all out on the floor in the way I want them. But I'm terrible spatially.
No, Dwayne and I do a really good job together. So I'll eyeball it because I'm good with that, and then he measures and to make sure the math's all good. And so, I'll show you my front room because I had been collecting. I had no idea how many mirrors and frames I had. I had more than I had space to put in the front room. And
we have autographs. We have autograph photos.
Cool. And
so a collection. So they have to be in a certain way and grouped together a certain way. And
part of what I did too is I went on Pinterest as well. And I laid everything out on the floor, like you said, and, you know, up to the wall. And Cheryl can tell you I have a lot of them are empty frames on the walls in the front room. Everything's gold or black or both. So, and I have 2 prints. So I got the frames when Dwayne's grandma died. I like the frames. I don't care for the prints. I have prints, but so I got the frames for free. I got the prints for free. I'm not going to pay for mats. So I need to roll out the prints, make them flat, and then I think I'll just float them on mat board because, you know, they'll cut you mat board for not too much money. You want them to turn it into an actual mat, and they charge you, you know, what, start at $50 or something. It's ridiculous. And like I said, I'm not going to go put money into things I got for free. Come on. Because that's all of my frames. I either came upon them secondhand or they were given to me. That's pretty much that's everything I have. And I told Dwayne, you know, he even got a secondhand wife. But no, once you get, you know, and that's just kind of your lifestyle of reseller, you know, when you're a reseller, you're not going to go buy brand new stuff unless you get a good price, you know, get on sale. And you get living life that way. And then you stop and look at prices, retail prices. And it's like, oh my God.
I can get this at Goodwill for way cheaper.
It's like crap costs that much. Pass.
Yeah.
Tommy didn't have a couch for years.
Speaking of like spacing and stuff, this house drives Tommy nuts. So when you're standing in our front yard and you're looking at the house, our front door is not in the right place. Like,
that would bug me
off,
too.
Very off. The light for the front of the house is even worse because you got the door here, which should be in the center. It's not. And the light above it is over, way far. So that's not even lined up symmetrical. Our windows aren't symmetrical. Like, it drives him nuts. So when he hangs up pictures, he's got the measuring tape, and he's got his marker to make sure that, you know, because our house, it's very uneven. Our house was built on sand, and so that's pretty much what it is around here. So it settles and things kind of get like uneven.
Someone didn't listen to the song.
What's that?
The song.
What song?
The wise man built his house upon a rock.
We didn't build it. This house has been here since,
and the foolish man built his house upon the sand. The rain.
Yeah, I don't know the song.
The floods came up.
I'll have to look it up. I've never heard that one.
I don't know. Does anybody else besides Mormon kids sing that song? I don't know.
There was another song about shifting sand, but I can't remember it either.
Oh,
so
boy.
I'll just come over to your house, Beth. I'll just pop on over. I don't even know what state you live in, but I'm
in Houston.
Pop on over. Oh, okay. And I'll come and
not far.
Your pictures up, because that's something. Even though I don't really do it, I feel like I'm kind of I'm pretty good with spatial. Like I said, I'm pretty good at eyeballing, and but I like doing arrangements, flower arrangements, basket arrangements. I like doing that kind of stuff. It relaxes me.
I like weeding.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah, a lot of people enjoy weeding.
Yes,
only after it rains, and you can just go pull them right out of the ground.
No. Vinyl weeding, where you take out the excess vinyl from a decal.
You're gonna have to do a show and tell us what you're, you know. I think you're talking about like out in the yard pulling weeds.
No, I had a picture of Des out in the garden pulling weeds when she said that.
Yeah.
Although I did do that Saturday. There's like this little spot next to our bedroom window, and it's got like, I don't know who planted, I don't know who did this before we moved in, but they had those viney plants. I don't know exactly what they were, but they were just viney plants. Like they were wrapped around everything. Started going under our siding, so I had to pull all of that out so that it wouldn't ruin the siding. I got rid of all the crap plants that were back there, and I'm turning it into a wild bird little area, like a little bird area. Got a table back there with my bird bath on top of that with rocks around it with a fake plant. Don't ever have to worry about that dying. And then another big tall plant that I had in the house that didn't go with our decor anymore. So that's over there. We have a dog house, which is also AKA a duck house because she likes to sleep next to our bedroom window sometimes. And so I'm kind of like, I was doing that this weekend. And then yesterday for Mother's Day, I went with Tommy and Jaslyn. We went to Paul Bunyan's for breakfast.
I saw that.
It was
delicious.
good food. Oh, it was so good. The first time we went, it wasn't very good, but it was off season and it was dinner, so they like microwaved everything or something. I don't know. It was cold and it didn't taste good. This time
Yeah.
around, it was really, really good. We had sausage and biscuits, or biscuits and sausage gravy, pancakes, eggs, fried potatoes, ham, and their donuts.
Good heavens.
Yeah,
So everything that can kill you.
yeah, everything. Well, it's a lumberjack breakfast, is what it's supposed to be like. So I was like, well, I don't think they made sugar donuts when they're back in the day, but they're known for it, and it's really good. And then we went to the state park, which is right outside Wisconsin Dells. Can't think of the name of the state park. And we walked around there. It's like 1.6 miles to walk around the whole main trail that they have in there. We ended up going like 2+ miles because we were climbing down the mount or the sand rock cliffs and stuff like that. And I was in slippers, but I didn't know we were going there. Otherwise, I wore different shoes. But I made it through the whole way with slippers. We walked down. Now this is weird because the rocks, they had like steps, but it was like natural steps of the sandstone going all the way down to the beach. And we found this like really cool. I don't know. Somebody was constructing something out there because I have never seen anything like this before. Let me see if I can get it up.
I went to Walmart yesterday for Mother's Day.
Let me get it bigger. So that was in the middle of
Are they building a pyre? They can throw a body on that?
No, it was actually. Let me find the inside. Like this inside.
Cool.
I can't think of the name of that. And then you cover it with leaves and stuff. It's a shelter.
And
Yeah,
Type of shelter, but I can't think of what it's called.
right.
Not an A-frame, but something similar.
Yeah.
So that was, we ran into that and in the middle of the woods, and I had jokingly told Tommy, I was like, oh, I bet you that, or wouldn't it be weird if we found a creepy old house back here, and then we found that, and I was like, I gotta keep my mouth shut.
That's awesome. What did you do for Mother's Day?
I mean, there was quite a few people out there, but we kept hearing this noise that sounded like an old steam engine that but we couldn't figure out what it was because 1 minute it sounded like it was really close, the next minute it sounded far away, and then it sounded like it was over here, and then it sounded like it was over here and over there, and every time Tommy would try to record it, it wouldn't make the noise. That noise wouldn't happen. He would stop recording, and immediately after he stopped recording, the sound would go off again. And I'm like, I
That's-
really hope that's human.
I was gonna say it was haunted. But what'd you do for Mother's Day, Beth?
We went to Macaroni Grill.
Awesome.
Dwayne, someone was preparing for to be on the cast of Survivor. Probably they were doing their. Someone always has to build a shelter. A lean-to is possibly what I was thinking of. Every time we took the kids camping with schools, we always had to build one of those. I just can't think of what it's called.
And
so, yeah, we just went out to eat because we're spread all over the city and outskirts. So we just met in one central location. Because the day before we had a birthday party for my 1-year-old grandson. So we were all there as well. So it was like a lot of driving for my dad. And he doesn't really need to be driving. But in the last 4 months, he has scraped the side of his car in his garage when he's parked it and had to go get it buffed. So I really don't think he needs to be on the road if he can't park his freaking car in the garage. But,
wow.
I don't know. I've never had the opportunity to park my car in a garage. But if I did, I wouldn't be surprised if I scraped it, pulling it in and out.
Mm-hmm. So
he
put a tennis ball for my mom. He hung a tennis ball from the ceiling for my mom so she won't go up to the hot front, but he's scraping on the side. So
do you still have both parents?
Yes, I do. My mother just beat leukemia last month.
Holy cow.
She was pronounced completely cured. She has a very rare form. I couldn't tell you what it's called. She was in an experimental study.
Wow.
And she was on the chemo drug for 2 years and wanting to get off of it so badly. When they did the spinal tap, they said she's completely free and they're pronouncing her cure. They're not saying remission. They're saying it's gone.
Holy crap.
And it should not come back. So we were thrilled. And I really think that's because she's supposed to be here to take care of my dad, because my dad is really needing help,
Was it by chance multiple myeloma?
No.
Okay, because that's what my dad had.
But I cannot tell you what it is, but I know it's not that. It's just some weird thing, and she's had it for probably almost 20 years. And
wow.
She was at class 0 for years where she didn't have to take anything. And then it hit her really hard about 4 years ago. And then she's been on that chemo drug ever since. And they told her she can get off of it now. So she's happy. We all did a toast and everything with our glasses at the dinner table, congratulating her, and it was great. So
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So anyway,
that's really
what
good.
did you do, Heather?
So as I said, Dwayne and I went to Walmart. He'd gone online and put in the order just to go pick stuff up. And then, and I was the one who decided that I'd try to go in instead of making him gimp around, We're really pathetic right now. And then I had taught Jeremy how to make a German pancake because, how I've mentioned it. And so he made that I think that was our brunch at 2 p.m. And then Dwayne made roast for dinner. And my oldest son, I'll see him sometime. But then Dwayne and I took his mother out to dinner today. And like I said, I FaceTimed with my mom because my brother went out there. And I know that Natalie, that she had ordered me something. And and then, I've got to order my Nikes. So, Mother's Day or not, I'm gonna do that. But so that was my day as low key. I worked on some collaging, and
I had the best Mother's Day present yesterday I think I've ever had. My granddaughter said grandma for the first time.
Oh my gosh.
And I've been trying to get her to say grandma for months. And yesterday on FaceTime, she finally said it. She only said it once. That's typical of her. She learns a new word. She says it once and she never says it again. But I said, my daughter's like, did you hear that? I said, yeah, I heard it. It's official.
I had a pep talk with my oldest son about that I want to be a grandma. Yesterday when I talked to him, he's 28 and our daughter-in-law is 29. That is not too young. In fact, if they want to have more than one kid, they need to get started, because who knows, if there's going to be any kind of issues. I had kids the old-fashioned way. They just showed up.
Mine were miracles. I wasn't supposed to have either one, and then all of a sudden I was pregnant. Found out at 6 months with Joey, and then found out very, very fast when I got pregnant with Jaslyn. So,
how many kids do you have, Beth?
I have 2 girls, and I have 3 grandkids right now. And I imagine I'll be starting a new one next year, because I think they're going to start trying again. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, for my oldest son, I knew exactly what the deal was. And I asked my daughter-in-law, I'm like, Ian thinks that life needs to be perfect before, you guys have kids. And she's like, yes. And I'm like, because that's how he is. And I've told him, I'm like, if you're going to wait till you have it all together, I do understand partly because, I had him, I was a single mother, married his dad for a little while, single mother again. I can see how that's made him a little bit, gun shy to start his own family. Just not that things were bad. It just was not ideal. So.
right.
What were we just talking about? I lost my train of thought. Shoot. Oh, gosh.
The woman who does not have ADHD.
Yeah. Well, I was reading the private chat, and then I got off of it. Well, I know what I was going to say is both of my girls told me they wanted to have 4 kids each. And I said, why 4? And they said, because we watched the show Parenthood, and that's just like the perfect number, Mom, to have 4. Well, they're both rethinking that number now.
I told my kids, I told my kids, I love all 3 of you, but trust me, you guys can only handle having 2. 3 is too hard. Just stick with 2. No regrets that I had 3, but yeah, it was very challenging.
2 for me was like having 3. I remember coming home from the hospital with the second one, and the older one needed something, and I looked around. I'm like, oh my God, what have I gotten myself into? Like, I don't even know what to do. Like, I don't know what to do, because at that time we weren't really wearing like slings and things like that, and that just wasn't a real common thing in my circle. And so I just remember thinking, do I put the baby down? Do I, keep the baby and don't tend to this other kid that wants something? I was like lost that first couple of days,
Yeah, it's my kids are 18 months apart, and I had kids in diapers for a long time. One needed to be changed, then the other one fussed because the other one needed to be changed. One would get up and run, and the other one would get up and run, and they go in opposite directions. And I'm like,
and one cries, and then the other one cries because the other one's crying. But mine were 3 years apart, so it wasn't so bad. And I used my 3-year-old as a helper, but sometimes it didn't really work that well, but I don't know. I just, when I had my second one, my grandma came. She was like in her late 80s, and she came and stayed with us for a month, which I don't know what I would have done without her. But she was running up and down the stairs with the baby in her arms. And one night I woke up and I went to the baby's room, and the baby wasn't in the crib, and I was like freaking out. I thought somebody had stolen my child. And then she comes out of the guest room, and she's like, she's in bed with me. She's fine. She's like, she was crying. I didn't want to wake you up. So she's in bed with me. Just go back to bed. It was awesome. But the problem with her, like if you drank something and you put your cup down on the table, she would run in there, get it, wash it, dry it, put it in the cabinet. Then you're like, where's my cup? Oh, it's already cleaned and it's in the cabinet. Like she would just go around. She was trying to be helpful, but it was driving me nuts. I felt like a bad mother because I felt like I had left my cup on the table. I was like,
I think probably another reason why my oldest hasn't been anxious to jump into fatherhood is he was 5.5 when I had Natalie, and that's the sibling closest in age to him. And then between me and his father, so I had 3. His father, so Ian, and then 2 more. His father and his second wife had 4 more, and then they adopted a kid not that long ago. The kid's like 2, and Ian's father is in his 50s. And I don't like kids that much. I think it's awesome that they did it, but no. And so one of my sisters said that the reason why they adopted a kid was because they'd given up on Ian having any. But his brother, the brother that's closest in age to him from his dad, is 8 years younger. And so Ian, he knows how to take care of kids. My other 2 don't know anything about taking care of babies, but my oldest knows diaper changing and all of that. So.
I think there is a right time to have kids as far as like financially, because I always tell my kids, I said, you know, you don't have to make a fortune to have kids, but at least if you have a career path, you have a good job, you have a plan of, you know, where you're going to get there, that is helpful. Because
I hear
you don't have
it
to be
is.
rich. You don't have to be rich to have kids. That's not what I'm saying. But you do have to have a plan or a goal in mind, because if you're just destitute, you know, and bringing a kid into it's so much harder. It's just so much harder.
Hey,
So I'm glad that both of my kids, you know, yeah.
Yeah. When I had Ian. And never came over.
I was 26 and 27 when my kids were born, and Joey will be is 15 years older than the baby that his stepmom's carrying, and Jaslyn is 13, almost 14 years older than the baby that she's carrying. And so it'll be interesting to find out what's going on.
They can be so much help, though. Oh my gosh, they can be so much help.
Yeah, and Jaslyn's super stoked.
They can be, yeah. I mean, it's just like I said, a 3-year-old wanted to help, but sometimes it was difficult, you know. So.
Well, we're at an hour, so.
Yeah, I got to get off here. I got some orders to pack, and thank goodness for orders, right?
Right? Yeah,
I have several people who've ordered today but have not paid, so I hate that. And I have to go into the office tomorrow. I go in the office twice a week, so.
Does that give you anxiety?
Yes.
Because it interrupts your schedule?
It is driving my wife crazy. She's like, you either need to find another job or you need to get with it and get out of this mode, because I'm always real down on Monday and Thursday nights, or very anxious. And I get there, and then all I can think of is I just want to go home. I just want to go home. That's all. I text her all day long. I just want to go home. You know, so I stay there the minimum amount of time that I can stay there to get my work done, and then I go home. Now, when all this other stuff is over and clients start coming back, I won't have a choice. I'll have to be there all day.
Perlini says, or you wait months for an invoice to pay. That's crazy.
Not sure who's not sending you an invoice, but
definitely not good business right there.
Yeah. I would just remind them that you haven't gotten one. It may have slipped through the cracks. It may not be something intentional.
Right. For sure, for sure. All right, I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. We're actually going to end it a little early, but I do appreciate each and every one of you who have been in my chat, each and every one of you on my panel. You guys are amazing, and I greatly appreciate you guys being here. It's phenomenal. And we will be back next Monday, 8 p.m. Central Time, for another episode of Mental Health Safe Place Live. Remember, this is a safe place for everybody to open up, to share, to just sit and listen. This is a safe place for you all. Again, always remember, you are worth it. You are loved. And in this family, you never have to worry about fighting alone. Do you guys have anything that you guys want to say before we head out?
I just hope everyone has an awesome week and try to find joy in your life.
For sure. Heather?
I should think of something fruitful to share at the end.
You need a tagline, Heather. You need your outgoing speech there.
I don't know. My tagline from my kids when they're teenagers: get over it.
Right? That's great. Okay, so before you head out, Beth, wait till after the
Sure.
intro and stuff. So I just wanted to ask you a quick question after.
Okay.
So much love, everybody. Have a beautiful rest of your week, and we will see you again next Monday. Remember, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I am live with Paul Antonelli on his channel for the Brunch Bunch. I remembered it. Brunch Bunch crew with me, Paul, Julie, and Susanna. And that, like I said, it's every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So his link is down in the description down below. With that, have a beautiful rest of your week, and we will see you again soon.